Hi there, my friends. This is Sandy. This video is my Brightest Birthday 4-page workshop, and I hope you are ready for some inky, fabulous fun. So this whole kit is based on the Brightest Birthday card workshop from Stampin' Up, where you create three different card designs, three of each. So it makes 9 cards. It comes with this stamp set right here. And I was like, yeah, I could totally make that into scrapbook pages, right? Isn't it fun? So if you got one of my kits, all you need right now is out of the blue pages, you need your 2 white pieces. And then just lift that up and take a peek down here, and you need the 2 yellow ones. Everything else can get set aside for now. And now I want you to take a peek. Here I have 3 different colors of ink. Here I have 3 different colors of ink. You pick which 3 colors of ink you want to use, grab them, and meet me right back here with a spray bottle and those inks. You'll need some kind of surface that's easy to clean. I'm just going to use my glass mat. I'm going to rub whatever ink you decide to use. I'm going to start with my blue for my yellow pages. And I'm just going to put some ink on there and spray. Now, using my paper, you decide if you want the light side or the dark side. I'm going to do light. And I'm just going to pop my paper right on top of that water, and it's going to pick up the color. This is smooshing. I'm smooshing my paper right onto that color. So in between, before I add more, because there's still a little more water, but I want more Caroline, more of the blue ink. So I'm going to take the blue ink again. Now that I've cleaned that up, spray it again. And I want some more blue down here and maybe a little more up here. And then I'm just going to wipe up my surface, move on to whatever ink I'm going to use next. I'm going to go with a green. Get my green ink on there, give that a spray. Same thing, going back in with the same papers. A little more on that. Just don't want to get water on the ink pad. The green over here. And then I'm also going to use kind of a purpley color that matches this purple here on the paper. Little bits in the corners and the sides of this. I love how that looks. Isn't that fun? So set that aside, let it dry. Just a little more water will do the trick for this. Yeah, I want it darker. Okay. And then I'm going to move on and do the exact same process on my white papers, this time with yellow, orange, and blue. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. So there's those 4 wet, soggy, beautiful pieces. Set those aside and let them dry for a little bit. And in the meantime, from your orange pile, orange-based pile, grab the yellow card. It's got a score mark right in the middle there. And that's how you know it's a card. And then you need these 2 orange pieces from the blue pile. And we're going to grab some stamps and inks. So if you're over at my house and using my stuff, I'll have everything out for you. But again, we're using that birthday stamp set from for Brightest Birthday. So I'm using this star, and that's going to go on these pages. And then I'm using this star on this card right here. And I'm stamping them. I'm going to use an orange color on this one. So you're just going to stamp the whole thing. Just keep going, stamp that whole thing like that. And then on this one, I'm going to use a darker orange. And let me just double check yep, this one here and both of these are going to get stamped up. Oop, don't mix them up. This one's for this one. This one's for this one. So stamp that all up like that, both of these and that. So once you get those pieces all stamped up, you're going to need a paper trimmer. And we're going to cut this so that they're 4 inches. And you're going to have that little space where the fold was right in the middle. So 4 inches and then a little bit of a fold, right? This piece that was right in the middle. Do that to all 3 of the cards that you've got. 4 inches wide. Keep the length the same. They're still 5.5. We just need all these to 4 inches. Okay. So that part's all cut, and now we've got a little more cutting we need to do. You've got some envelopes. So we've got 3 envelopes all together. The one that's got the candles along the bottom, you're just going to line this up to right around 5 5/8. You just want to cut off the sticky part so that the length doesn't even matter. You just don't want the part that if it got wet would stick to your stuff. Cut that part off. You're going to cut that off on that one and then also on this yellow one. Okay, so those 2 are prepped. Now this one's going to get a little tricky, my friends. First thing we need to do is pop this one open. All right, so we want to save these stars. Show you what we're cutting here. We're cutting this piece right here. So we've got the stars that we want to keep. And then we need this to be 5.5 inches tall, but we don't want those flaps. So let's cut off the flap there. It needs to be 4 inches wide. 4 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. And I find with the envelopes, because they're a little bit thinner, if you start cutting in the middle of the paper and work your way out, it's a lot easier and doesn't rip your paper than if you started at one end and cut it. So now that has created that piece there that we're going to stamp to celebrate on. And then this other piece we need to be 3.25 by 4.25. So 3.25 will bring us right up to like that arch there. If you come in just a little bit, 3.25. Ooh, won't rip my paper. Oh, that one ripped a little bit. That's all right. By 4.25. Oh. This is going to be my photo well right here. And I think instead of putting my tab up the top, I think I'll put my tab over here so that it covers up that little piece of rip that I'm not thrilled about. But that is all of our prep work. Oh, a little bit of stamping, but we can do that as we go. We are going to get started on our blue pages first. Oh, orange pages first. So right now you need one of your yellows, one of your light blues that's a card. Then from these pre-cut pieces of the blue, you want the one that is 4 by 5.5, and you've got a little, if you've got this, you've got a grid mark. So that one's 4 by 5.5 for me. So it's the third biggest one, that middle-sized one. Got two that are the same, then a square. It's the next size up. Okay. And then you need one of these pieces, and yours might be still a little bit damp. That's okay. I'm going to show you a way that we can work around that. So we're going to start by putting our pieces along the top. It's a little easier for me to do it right in front of me here. So I'm going to start with my yellow, then go to this blue, the lighter of the two. And then this one should be the same size and fit right in the line perfectly for us. All right, so now if your paper is still a little bit wet, I want you to come in an inch and run a line. So you've got a full inch around the edge there, right along the edge along the top here, and then go in an inch on either side, run yourself a line. We're going to go back in and touch this up again later if we need to, but this will hold it in place for us now. And then this is going butted right up to that row that we've got along the top there and evenly framed around here. So there we go. All right, now from our other stack of blues, we need the second biggest one. That's going to be a photo well that comes right down here. And we need from our pre-cut pieces, one of the yellow tabs. And I just ran some tape on both sides of that tab, and make sure you score it real good first. Slip that right along the edge of that photo well. And I've got it so that the top is lined right up along the edge of the photo well. Then if you want to make sure it stays in place, you can put a little tape behind there, but that will do the trick for now. And again, from your pre-cut pieces, you've got this from the card kit. That is going to go right along the edge of the light blue, which will give you an even frame on 3 of the 4 sides of that piece. Now, one of your smallest blues is going to go right in here, and I put mine a little closer to the top than the bottom. Then this piece that we cut from the envelope that may be a little bit wonky for you, put that wherever you want that to be. And actually, before I tape it down, I'm going to add the tab this time. It's a little easier to add the tab first. Just fold it in half. Again, I'm adding a little bit of tape so it sticks. And I want to cover up this mark right here. So I'm just lining it a little bit further. Here we go. Lining that tab right up, folding it in on itself. And then I'm going to put this one right down here. So this one's got extra at the bottom. This one's got extra at the top. It doesn't really make a difference one way or another. All right, we've got these 2 pieces. You can pop them or leave them flat, totally up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp birthday wishes on this white piece. There you go. So I'm just going to tape it flat on this particular one, but I did use foam tape on that one. And again, I'm lining up those edges of the mark there so that it all kind of sits flush together. All right, so now to finish this one off, I'm going to use stamps. And I stamped from those two stamps we used earlier. I am going to stamp the big star in an orange color, the big star in a purpley color, and then the little stars in that one I did white, and this one I did a green. Add those two there, then you've got 1, 2, 3 gems up here, 1, 2 gems there, 2 balloons, and I did blue journaling lines here and white dashes there. And then here I did blue dashes and white dashes to finish that one off. Oh, and super fun from all of your goodies. Did you see this sticker? Yeah, so let me show you how that works. Get your ribbons on there. This sticker comes off of here. Make sure you leave all the little doodads from the inside. Right, you don't want those sticking, covering up any of your goodness. Come here, come here. And then this lines up right over top. And now that present has ribbon. Hooray, hooray. And then this one here, this one I stamped, this one I stamped. Oh, let's bring it back over. All right. That one was stamped in green originally using this balloon. So I stamped that one up there. This one I stamped in blue there. This one is one of those punch out balloons that I used foam tape and popped it up. Now we're done with those ones. Let's move on to the next page. So this one starts the same way the other one did. 1, 2, 3 along the top, put that one down, but this is where we're gonna get a little different. So on here, I want you to run tape along the bottom, up to the envelope sides there, and then across this outer flap. Okay, so that whole section there. And then this piece is going to go right down in here. And we've created for ourselves, with this big long piece, a great pocket for pictures. So here I've got, whatever pictures you decide you want to put on there. I did 4x4s and 4x6s, but then it just slips right down, back down in there. And then the only other things, we've got a little bit of finishing touches here. This piece I put a little bit overlapping on the yellow and the blue up here. And then this one goes on top of it. Stamp the word celebrate and one of those stars. I did it in orange right up there. Then there's one little blue gem from our punch outs. We've got this little tabby. It's going to go right up in here. And then down in here, I stamped a blue star and added 2 little gems. I did do a little bit of stamping on top of the white. Wait till it dries before you do that. And then again, the blue journal line and the white dashes. Not so bad, right? Easy, fun. Let's move on to the next set. So this next page is going to start the same way, but instead of doing it along the top, we're going to do those 1, 2, 3 along the side. And then again, if it's still wet, go ahead and add your tape directly to there. If not, then you can add your tape to your paper. I'm finally dry, so I put my tape right on my paper. Okay, so from our cutout pieces, we've got candles. And actually, I am going to trim. You can either line it up like we did before, or you can cut a little bit off. There we go. I'll just line it up on this one. So here I trimmed it so that it was centered, just cut a half of an inch off of it. Here I lined it up right along the edge like we did on the last page. Totally your call. All right, now we need our photo mats. So for this side, we need a 4x4, a 3x4, and a 4x6. So each of your photo wells that I just had you pull out are 1/4 of an inch wider, and um, they're taller and wider so that your picture can be 4x6 and 4x4. So these are 1/4 of an inch bigger. Okay, that one and this one. Let's get some of our little tabby guys on there. So here we've got a blue and an orange. We'll put the orange one down here. And then the yellow one's gonna go off to the side. You decide if you go light or dark with those. This one I did little black dots. I did little black dots and a white line. This one I did little white line dots and a black line. You know, however much of that you want to do. On this one I did blue dashes and white lines. Just adds a little bit of fun. I also added some more of those stars in some green. Then the only other thing we've got besides our little fun gems to add to this one is Happy Birthday, which is, oh, on 2 different stamps because I just used it on a different workshop as 2 different words. But that's all right. It will fit perfectly right in there, stamping it separately too. There we go. All right. So I'm going to add my happy birthday. You could do it flat or you can add foam tape to it. Put that right in here. And then I've got 1, 2 gems on this page. Grab your next, last, everything you've got left. Everything you've got left, we're going to use. All right, you've got your pre-cut pieces. I went ahead and stamped Enjoy Your Day on there already. You also could leave it blank and just use this for journaling. I am going to cut the 1/4 or 1/2 inch off the bottom on this particular one. I just like that one better framed. Then here, same deal. If you want it popped, go ahead and pop it. But I'm going to add my ice cream cone right in here. And then we've got photo wells. So a 3x4 up top and down here. Then we're going to add our envelope. Same thing, you want all along the bottom, up the sides, and then across that outer flap only. And then that's going to go centered right on that yellow piece. Then here's this piece that's going to tuck in there. And I used 2 4x4s on this particular one. Let me just add my little pull tab on here. Three by 3 goes on the outside of the envelope. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 gems, dashes if you want to do dashes, lines if you want to do lines, 3 dot are the dots in white and the line in blue. Couple of gems down there. And that is the end of my brightest birthday 4-page workshop. I hope you loved it. Please comment. Thanks for watching.